Picture your morning. The alarm goes off, and before your eyes are fully open, the list is already running. School lunches, the report due by 9, the text you never answered from last night, the meeting that should have been an email, the permission slip on the counter. You're in motion before you're awake, and the motion doesn't stop until you fall into bed at night, too tired to sleep well, too wired to truly rest. And tomorrow, the whole sequence begins again. You're good at this, genuinely good at it. Nobody would describe you as struggling. They describe you as someone who handles things, who shows up, who can be counted on. And you do show up. You handle things, and you are running on empty. Take a vacation, set a boundary, do some self-care. You've tried all of it, and you come back from the vacation, and within 3 days, you're right back in the depletion. So let me tell you what burnout actually is, because the real cause points to a real fix. First, let me name what you're living. The exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix, the cynicism creeping into a job you used to care about, the feeling that nothing you do matters, and the part that scares people most, the depletion has spread past work. You're too drained for the things you actually love. The hobby, the friends, the life outside the job. It's all gone flat. Here's the reframe. Burnout is not simply too much work. Plenty of people work brutal hours and don't burn out. Burnout is what happens when you spend day after day in a reactive, braced, disconnected state with no way back to yourself. It's not the workload. It's the state you're carrying the workload in for months with no return. Think about it. If you're running your entire day from a depleted, reactive place, reacting to emails, reacting to demands, reacting to pressure, never once returning to your own center, of course you're empty. You've been spending from an account you never refill. And the vacation doesn't work because the vacation doesn't teach you the return. You go right back to the same depleting state. There's a moment before the reactivity takes over, before the bracing, before the noise, where you're present and fully yourself. I call it first cause, the moment before. And here's the thing that changes everything. Returning to it is the refill. It's not something you do once a year on a beach. It's something you can do on demand, in the middle of the hardest day, in 60 seconds. This is a performance edge, not a wellness tip. The people who work hard and don't burn out aren't working less, they're returning more. They've got a path back to themselves, and they use it constantly, in real time. You can build the same one. Here's what it looks like. The first 2 weeks, you find one moment midday where you return. 60 seconds before a hard meeting. A clean breath before you respond instead of react. And you feel the difference. You end that day a little less depleted than usual. You notice it before anyone else. By 30 days, you can name 3 moments where you stayed connected to yourself under pressure instead of grinding through it disconnected. And you can watch it in data across 5 dimensions of your inner life, based on research. By 90 days, you're operating from a clearer place in every part of the day. The cynicism lifts because you're no longer running on empty. The energy comes back to the things outside work because you stopped believing it all into the grind. You become the steady one, the person others turn to when the whole team is fried. I want to say something about that cynicism, because it's the symptom people misunderstand most. When you're burned out, the cynicism feels like clarity. It feels like you've finally seen through it, the job, the mission, the whole thing. It feels like wisdom. It isn't. It's depletion wearing the mask of insight. Here's how you can tell. Real clarity is calm. It can see what's wrong and still care. Cynicism is exhausted. It stopped caring because caring costs energy it no longer has. The cynicism isn't a truth you've arrived at, it's a battery reading. And that's actually good news, because it means the caring isn't gone. It's not that you've become a person who doesn't care. It's that you're too depleted to afford it right now. Refill the account through the return, used daily, during the work, and the caring comes back. Not because anything about the job changed, because you can finally afford to feel it again. That's when you know the burnout is actually lifting. Not when the workload drops, when you notice you give a damn again. Here's the truth. You cannot rest your way out of burnout if you go right back to the state that caused it. The fix isn't more time off. The fix is a return you can use during the work, so the work stops emptying you the way it does. Every return is a rep. The reps compound. The path back gets shorter, and the depletion stops piling up. You're not weak. You're not doing too much. You've been doing all of it without a way back to yourself. Learn the way back, and the work stops costing you your life. Find out exactly where you stand. Take the free assessment at consciousnesstrack.app/quiz. 5 minutes, no email required, completely free. It maps exactly where you are across 5 dimensions of your inner life. I'm Candace. I'll see you in the next one.